Finally, man.
Yeah,
Finally.
man.
Very, very cool. Hey, don't look at this. This is not exam question or exam paper. I don't even care about it. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Since I last saw you. Back in
2020.
2020, pre-pandemic, pre-COVID, pre-MCO, pre all the bullshit that has been happening the past 3 years.
I was still a teenager the last time I saw you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Really? How old were you back then? How old are you now?
I'm 22 now.
So 22 now. Oh, so back then you were like...
I was like 19. Yeah.
Very, very cool, man. Yeah, so a little backstory, okay? Zach here, right? Answered the call. There was a show that, my band did, right, for the... what's this Melaka festival, this music festival. And last minute, I could not get my usual text. My usual text was not free. So I put out a call, blah, 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 and then, voila, you answered, And then, hey, Zach was, you were my tech for that event. We traveled down to Malacca, went down, stayed over. And that was a weird time.
Yeah.
It's a weird time because, COVID was already making its round in China.
It was just starting. It was just hitting Malaysia a bit.
Yeah, and then in especially it was really going over in China, and you start seeing it in Europe. So it was literally one of the very last music shows or festivals ever organized. I think in before MCO, before the lockdown.
Yeah, in like 3 years.
Yeah, correct. And it was such a weird thing, weird feeling because. I don't know about you, but everyone was always there, a little stress, a little tension because everyone was like worried, and it's like, wow, this one, a whole bunch of people. You see the crowd all coming together. It's like, wow, and this one super spreader event. It's like, but then actually in the end, nothing happened.
Yeah,
nothing happened. So, it's also a memorable weekend because that was the Sheraton move that weekend also. Sheraton move happened.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember
everyone
that.
felt like shit, okay? And we were all really, really screwy. Yeah. Especially when the next morning when everyone went for breakfast, everyone was like feeling like shit.
Oh man.
Anyway, politics,
politics aside.
23 is over. Cheers, man, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is water and good nitty-gritty and nothing not anything.
Yeah.
So Zach, maybe, I don't want to take too much. Maybe, let the listeners know who you are, what you do, and, talk about a little bit about the band.
Okay, so I am Zach. I am guitarist of Empty Page, and I am also a full-time music producer, and basically. That's what I do. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you produce for your band, right? Empty Page, right?
Yeah.
And you, of course, also, you also not only just produce, you also engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mix your own tracks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're the whole deal. You're the overall. You're the everything, man. Yeah.
I guess I try to be.
Yes, and I mean. We talked right during the especially that trip.
Yeah.
When you're driving in the car, I don't know whether I bored you with all my old stories and all that.
No,
maybe in the back of your head you're like thinking, this guy, I don't know how to shut up.
Nah, it's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't help that my car doesn't have a radio. So I don't have a radio, so I have to talk. So I have to talk lah.
Yeah.
But I have to say, definitely talking to you and just knowing, I knew that you were in the band, and you guys started when did Empty Page start actually?
Okay, it's kind of a long story. So Empty Page technically started at 2012 when Zig was just out of school with like different members, and then the members kept changing. I came in around 2015. I played keyboard, and then I shifted to guitar, and then a lot of members changed, and then so this lineup And this brand of empty page has been around since 2017.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Okay, just for context for listeners, right? Zik is your brother.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Zik is my
Awesome,
brother.
right? The lead singer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so I always like to go back and I was saying like, talking to you and knowing that you told me that, oh wow, not only did you produce, not only a part of the band, but you also engineer, you record, you mix, you did all the basically you help to produce and make the album lah.
Yeah.
Right, so it's like, hey, this is I was really impressed. And for someone
Thanks,
at
man.
19 back
Yeah.
then to be doing all of this, I mean, I got my start. And I think it was great lah because I definitely felt that I could relate and I could resonate because I also started pretty young. Actually, I didn't start at 19. Actually probably only started when I was 21. Really, really properly starting, dabbling in the studio things. Yeah, 21. 20, 21? Yeah, 20 or 21, correct.
Still
yeah.
pretty young, man.
Well, I mean, that should be lah. I mean, if a little bit more than that, it takes a little too long.
Yeah.
If you're not figuring out what to do. Anyway, so was that always something that you wanted to do?
Well, when I look back, I feel like I've always been interested in like how sound layers together. Like before I knew what like producing was, I used to watch a lot of like beatboxing loop station punya sessions like
Oh.
yeah, like how they loop together every sound, how every sound works together. I've always been interested in things like that. So I found that in like arranging and producing lah. So it's just something that I fell into. But then I realized, oh, I've always liked this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's how I started.
All right. Yeah. So maybe let's cycle back a little bit. Growing up, what was it like? In your family. I mean, you and your brother, who also happens to be the lead singer of the band.
Yeah.
Education wise, right? Was music in your family when you were young?
Yeah. My dad was like trying to be a musician. And he was like a guitar enthusiast, so he would teach us a lot of songs apa semua. But growing up, we didn't really take interest in that because it was our dad's thing. But I think around 2011, I watched School of Rock for the first time. And then I was, that's kind of cool. And then I wanted to take interest in learning the guitar. Actually, yeah. Actually, before that even, I wanted to play drums because I've always liked music, but I never liked the guitar. So yeah, my first instrument was drums actually. And then yeah, 2011 I started guitar, and that's where I really, really festered into something lah.
Did you ever go for lessons or anything like that?
No.
Everything is self-taught.
Yeah.
Did your dad like impart any of his knowledge or teach you?
A bit at the start, but yeah, overall it was self-taught lah.
Yeah. So okay, all right. So I'm not sure. Maybe your dad maybe wanted to plant that seed, in you guys. You see, and then finally it's like, you see, taking off. It's like, and then he's hoping like okay lah, this is my investment, and you guys are going to be now he's going to want to see the returns.
Yeah, it's pretty good lah that we actually took interest, and yeah, now we're like a thing.
Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, so 2011, and then you said 2011, it's where you really started picking up the guitar. Then you joined the band in 2015.
Yeah.
But then after all the different evolution of stuff, 2017 onwards is like where the current incarnation of the band is.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. So can you tell maybe so far how many releases have you guys made?
So we had our first album in 2017.
Yeah.
And then we had a few singles. And just last year we released our sophomore album, which is like our baby. That's like the sound that we carry now.
Right, yeah.
So that's all the releases we have right now.
Awesome, and definitely, I mean, you guys have been for, I follow,
Oh,
I
nice.
follow
Thank
what's
you.
going on in the scene. I follow what happens with all the different bands, because, I feel like it's really cool and it's really, really inspiring to, I mean, that's where my heart. I mean, I really want to support, all the upcoming bands and all that, because I see that that's important. Yeah, and it's good to see so many bands out there right now thriving.
Yeah.
But I wanted you to come on because I knew you not only just being a member of the band, but you also produce, you also engineer. Yeah, and that's kind of where this podcast series that I do always highlights lah. Yeah,
It's even called MixChat.
exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be chatting about anything and everything, man. Yeah. So and I want to highlight people who are the producers, the engineers, the musicians behind the scenes.
Nice.
Yeah, and just listen to, just sort of document what your story is about. Your journey, and even though you're still young, your journey has just begun, so to speak. But it's it can be always a good example for anyone who's listening, and then say, this is a possible path that I can do. He's done it before, you've done it before, and then they listen to another story, and they might be inspired to follow in your footsteps lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. So I'm really, really appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it. Have you done any podcasts before?
No, I've never like been in public like this.
Hey, I'm gonna put you in the spotlight, okay?
Nice.
Now,
This is different than what I'm used to, which is nice.
Okay, don't worry, man. He's super casual, man. Okay, come. Let's go to okay. Now interrogation question time.
Nice.
So of course, being a more audio engineering, mixing, recording related channel, I do, we want to talk about the geeky nerdy stuff lah. So what DAW do you use?
I am a user of Reaper and Ableton Live.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I use both. I use Ableton is more for like arranging and all programming, all MIDI stuff. Reaper is more for like recording and mixing.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it's quite a hassle to be switching between the two actually.
Right.
So I've been wanting to like try and just use one, but Ableton is so hard to use for like mixing and recording, whilst Reaper is so hard to use for like programming and arranging. So I feel like it's not gonna be anytime soon.
Right, but I think it's not uncommon, because different DAWs have their strengths and their different weaknesses. Ableton definitely is really good for music creation.
Exactly.
and getting ideas down. And then I use Reaper as well.
Oh, nice.
For location recording. Like if I'm doing mobile, because it is super, super, super stable.
Yes, exactly.
And even I talked to, I don't know whether like Sunil Kumar. Sunil Kumar is like a really, really veteran audio engineer, one of my mentors and one of my teachers, right?
Okay.
I mean, he mixes for Jeremy Montero, he mixes for, a lot of big shows lah. Even when he records, right? Even though he's a Pro Tools guy, but for live recording, he uses Reaper.
Yeah,
because it's super stable and it won't crash when you're recording a live show in a concert.
I'll tell you, man, Reaper is gonna be the new thing. it's so good. It's just so stable and
and of course, I mean, and it's the entry for an entry pathway to that is super affordable, you see. Yeah, but that's cool. So if there's what's your current setup like?
It's pretty basic. I just have like, right now I have a Focusrite 2i2 with just a headphone amp and a Furman and 2 audio Presonus Aries 5.
Aries 5, right? Okay.
That's basically it.
Yeah. All right. You're running off a desktop or a laptop?
Desktop.
Desktop lah, huh?
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. But again, you don't need much
Yeah,
nowadays.
you don't need
okay.
much.
Yeah. That's basically what you need: an audio interface, a laptop.
Yeah.
Even arguably, even monitors are not very important nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of people who work mobile on the road are into headphones nowadays. Some
Yeah.
big names also are also using headphones
Oh,
nowadays.
nice.
Like Andrew Sheps. Yeah, he's very very big proponent of working on headphones already. Yeah, so times have changed, man.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be like you needed like a whole room of gear and all that to make a record.
Betul?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So the Focusrite is the 2i2. Is it the third gen one?
I can't remember. I think it's the second gen.
Still the second
Yeah.
gen, is it? They
Yeah.
just put out the fourth gen recently, what?
Yeah, I saw. It's
So
like, damn, it's...
time to upgrade.
I don't know about that.
I think the fourth gen, the major improvement of the fourth gen is the converters, because now they
Oh.
have their converters are the same as the RedNet series,
Oh.
right? And the RedNet series, that is their flagship
Yeah.
range already. So the converters are there. I don't know about the preamps. The preamps are still the Scarlett series of preamps lah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, even a Behringer,
even
cheap-owned Behringer and all that, is pretty decent. The quality of the mic pre's and stuff nowadays, it's really really good. Yeah.
Betul lah. I actually used to use a Behringer like a few years ago, and I have come to really dislike the character of the preamps. I don't know, it's just something honky and plastic about it. I don't know why.
Yeah, there can be many reasons lah. I mean, I personally, of course, don't have experience with the stuff. I've used older Behringer gear, like their mic pre and all that. Surprisingly, actually, some of the older stuff is actually not bad one.
Oh, really?
But older meaning like being like late 90s, early 2000s lah.
Wow.
That's how old. As old as you lah. That range.
Probably.
Yeah. So there was, people sometimes say there was this magic spot, but they're actually getting better nowadays.
Yeah.
There's some other stuff that their gear that they're making. Obviously, I think they benefit, of course, from their mergers with Midas, and Clark Technique and all that. They Tribe Music, the company, buying over all those other companies.
Yeah.
They, of course, I'm sure they have borrowed some of the
I'm pretty sure.
technology to it lah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So again, so how do you guys usually approach your songwriting and your music production?
So basically, we would start with a demo. It depends. Sometimes I would just make a demo, record an instrumental demo, and then Zik would write over with his melodies and lyrics. Sometimes it starts from a melody that Zik already has, and then we would try and decipher it and add chords to it in the DAW. And then we would bring it to a jamming session, because that's where you really find everything, and not on a computer, but in a live situation.
Right. Okay.
And then after everything is, all the arrangement is, we feel like it's good enough, we record. So yeah, it's basically like that.
Yeah. So what would be the percentage be like, where the initial seed of the idea, because you said it's either you work out some kind of instrumental demo first and you program that in Ableton?
Either I program it or I would record something with guitar and drums.
Right, okay. Yeah. And drums being, of course, programmed, you start with programmed drums first lah. What's the percentage like? What's the split like between, instrumental first or, the melody first?
I would say it's 70-30. Yeah, there's a few songs in the album that started with just a scrap instrumental demo that we forgot about. But most of the songs it starts from a melody that Zik came up with.
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
70% would be the initial inspiration is a melody lah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah.
I feel like the melody is really where the strong point of the song is. So if you have a good chorus melody, then you're basically done lah with the song. You just need to find other parts.
Absolutely. Then the music is there to to support it and to serve it, right? Oh, that's very cool. Yeah. What was I doing? Yeah. So all right. So how much of your recording do you do at home?
The guitars and bass
Mm-hmm.
we would do at home, but vocals sometimes you would rent out different studios. Sometimes when we're really in a pinch, we would do it at home. Like for example, the one with Heidi, we just did at home.
Mm-hmm.
But a few songs in the album, we actually rented out KGE studio, which is across the street.
Yeah, just behind. Yeah.
We got to record with better equipment lah.
Right.
A U87, it sounded amazing lah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
right. And who would engineer for you?
It's either me or Iman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That means you would handle engineering yourself.
Yeah, depends. If Iman is up to it, I would just kau buat lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Iman being their in-house engineer?
No, my bassist.
Your bassist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. So so you literally you just rent the space and then you record lah. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a very, very, very indie spirit there.
Yeah, I guess.
Awesome. Right. Did they give you a different rate because you're self-engineering?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a rate. Kawan-kawan lah.
Understood. Yeah. Kawan-kawan, friend, got a rate. Yeah. I worked at something. I work out something as well. If people are, self-engineering, that I don't have to be here. I don't have to call an engineer in. That's very common. That's the business model lah.
Yeah.
That's fun, man. All right. Yeah. So, do you, like, if you record at home, what would you use? For vocals, what do you use?
It's pretty basic. I just have a Samsung CO1, like the infamous cheap mic.
Straight into the audio interface lah.
Yeah, straight into the audio interface.
Yeah. How about bass and guitars?
Just into a ARTDI and then into the interface lah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you would use like a VST, amp models inside. What do you usually use if it's for bass and guitar?
Bias effects too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For both the bass and guitars?
Bass depends. Sometimes if I really want an amp tone, I would use bias. But if the DI already sounds good, I would just use the DI.
Or just like a clean DI tone. Right. Oh, but that's again.
Yeah.
A lot of flexibility, man.
Depends
nowadays.
on the songs.
Yeah, depends on whatever the song is. Okay, cool. Do you need more water?
Yeah.
Let's have a refill. Time for a refill.
Nice.
There you go.
Ooh, cool vinyl coasters.
Yeah, man.
I just saw.
From Shopee. Sorry, no affiliate link. I don't have one. But I mean, they look like they are vinyl. But I don't know whether actually can. No lah, they're not lah. Who knows, man? One day I'm gonna just try and randomly play on top of it, and then suddenly got sound.
It could be just some secret message like encoded in all these grooves.
Yeah, you never know. One day, But I don't think so. This is like too small and too narrow.
Yeah.
But there's always like funny comments down there like tea time, don't spill, and
rest on me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've Shopee, man. I just randomly found this thing on Shopee and then just bought it. Yeah.
Well.
All right. So let's talk about, let's say maybe the live show aspect of things lah. So for live shows, all right. What do you use?
It's again pretty basic. I like to keep my stuff pretty basic. I have a Telecaster Affinity, and it goes into a tube screamer. A mini tube screamer. My tuner first, then a mini tube screamer, a Joyo delay, a Nux chorus, and that's pretty much it.
And that goes into the amp lah.
Yeah.
Usually amp is whatever's provided at the back line, or do you have your own?
If I get to choose, I would want a Marshall JCM lah.
Okay.
But if the backline doesn't provide, then I just use whatever there is there.
Right. So majority of your like tone, is going to come from the pedals lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's mostly the guitar and the amp. My pedals just like boost whatever there is.
Right.
Because I play a lot of clean tones, so a lot of the songs I don't even have any pedals on. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Wow, that's very cool. And like on doing for shows and stuff like that, like do you have someone who mixes for you?
When we can afford to get a live sound guy, we would get Ime.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
right.
like the sound guy now, right?
Yeah, he's everywhere now. Yeah,
and I feel like he really gets our sound.
Oh right, yeah. It's so hard to reach him. I've been messaging him. Ime, if you are out there, I've been messaging you because I've been wanting you to come on this one of these days. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
He interned with me.
Oh, really?
I think in either 2021.
Oh.
But for a very short period of time lah, because Aswara's internship is very short only.
Oh.
Yeah, so I wished, it could have been longer, and it was still doing MCO, PKP, so a lot of restrictions on getting here. Yeah.
I never knew that. Was that before he was with Angkasa?
No, this is before, yeah. Because
wow.
that's when he finished. It could have been 2020, but it is either 2020 or 2021.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was even before he played with Dewata Raya. So, yeah. So, Ime is also another one, another one of the bright shining stars that's out there, So
it's like everywhere.
Yeah, there's you, there's, of course, there's Ime, there's also Miro, Phi, some of these interesting people as well that I want to talk to all you guys, man. If everyone, okay, I'll get in touch lah one of these days. Yeah, if there's one thing about all your, your setup right now, whatever gear you have, is there something that maybe frustrates you? Is there something that, you feel that, or you're perfectly happy with what you have?
I would say I'm pretty happy with what I have.
Liar, tipu. How can anyone say that? Oh, I'm happy with what I have. It's like we always want more, right?
There's always the nafsu to have more.
Yeah.
But with my currents, I think it's enough for what I need. Yeah. But of course, I would want to get more pedals. Like, that's obvious. Yeah.
More towards the live sound, your live setup, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live setup.
Well, what will be the next thing, man? What's in your wish list?
Honestly, right now it's just a pedal board, a proper pedal board, because I just use a pedal case, and it's falling apart right now. So
well, better the pedal case than the pedals to take all the the strain and the stress. Yeah. Okay, right. So fans of the band or something like that. So that is his birthday. That's Zach's birthday wish. Get a new pedal board. Or hey, Zach, the big brother. You know what's next to get your brother for, and his investment for the band also. Okay, yeah. Pedal board, man. Okay, right. So anyone on Jam Tank, please, if you're selling a pedal board, please hit up Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. What would so far? With your young career, right?
Yeah.
What is there anything that you feel so far as you've been your proudest achievement?
Yeah, there's a few songs with a few artists that I've done. One in particular where I'm like, wow, this could really take off. I'm not sure if I could say the artist's name.
Is it out yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends. If you feel that you can tell, you can say it out, because this might not come out until October.
Yeah, I think I might not say it just yet.
NDA lah, I'm
Yeah,
still
NDA.
under NDA. Right, cool. Well, there's even more reason when it's done, come back and talk about it then.
Of course, man.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We'll look forward. So we've got something that segues very nicely into the next part lah. What's up? What's next for you? What's next for the band?
Yeah, so we have a single coming out next Monday on 18th, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's on September, but by the time this comes out, this would already be.
Yeah, the song is probably out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we have a few shows coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But really, we're just, right now, we're just in the process of writing newer songs. Yeah. It's been a while since we all, did, stuff for the band. Write music instead of playing shows. So right now, it's, a good groove to be in. We already have, two solid demos. And a third one coming.
So besides Empty Page, I mean, you guys also did write for other people, right? You hinted at it just now. There was this artist,
Oh, that's just me.
That's just you. Okay,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Have you besides that artist, which we shall not name, right? Anyone else have you worked with? Projects that are besides the band.
Heidi Moru, Shikin Azlan.
Mm-hmm.
The band Brain Stew.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's quite a few. Yeah. Aiman D. There's this one. Yeah, R&B artist. Oh, and another R&B artist coming up, which is our friend Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's gonna be a music video coming soon.
Okay, right. I mean, if you got any of this stuff, you just send links to me. I'll just put it down in the video description so you can check it out. If there's any, considering your young age now, it's like, what would you, advise yourself, your young self of, let's say, when you were 16 or 15, and if you want to go down this path, are there any thoughts or any words of wisdom?
Okay, I would say do not work yourself too hard because burnout is easier than you think. Yeah.
Word, man. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it's important to have fun.
Yeah.
While you're doing it, right? And just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I always say this, at the end of the day, it's just music. It's just something we do for fun. There's no point if you don't have fun doing what you do anymore.
Yeah. Or it becomes a drag. It becomes a source of stress.
Yeah, exactly.
Mental or physical, stress. And that's a real thing, lah. Yeah. I mean, you juggle other stuff as well besides music,
I do a few corporate audio jobs like VO and sound design and stuff like that. I had a phase of doing a lot of that, but that was quite tiring.
Yeah.
But now I'm back to mostly just music stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's, a lot of people, right, are actually going to be very, very. How did you actually get your break in doing all this, being that because you didn't study you didn't have any formal, in music production, you see?
No, I didn't study.
Yeah. So how did you get your break, in all this?
Mostly I think it's from the band because people just started noticing my work from my band, which I do not recommend. Do not document all your progress of your work on your own band because you can see the improvement and how bad the stuff was before. But yeah, but that's what taught me
right,
and that's what really got people to work with me. Yeah.
And that's very cool because the big sort of problem that I think this industry has right now, I would say that there is a little bit of saturation, oversaturation, and not the type of saturation, the tube saturation that we're talking about. It's the kind of a job saturation because I talk to even like, especially graduates who graduate from like, say, a formal, diploma degree from an audio school or music school. A lot of them struggle to find jobs when they graduate because there's, to be frank, all right? To be frank, unless you go to maybe broadcast or audio post, there's hardly any jobs out there. All the colleges and all the universities always say, oh, welcome, you have a great, bright future. But then after you graduate, you find that like, where?
Yeah.
And it's been like this for all this while. I mean, when it was my time, back in my day, right? It was already like that. And we're talking about early 2000s, 2003. It was already like that. The number of jobs there were so few that, unless you really had the way to, make your own career and be a freelance. And that's the route that I took, immediately because, trying to find a employment like a salaried job, man, no ways. And it's still the same like now. Everyone's a gig worker. Yeah. Everyone's working on project to project to project.
I feel like that's the way with audio. Because
I mean,
people don't take audio seriously, man. So I feel like that's partly the cause of it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, music is, and it's because ever since it's become an intangible stuff, it's become something that you can't touch, you can't see, you can't taste, you can't feel, you can only listen. It's basically just zeros and ones that's traveling through, your traveling through your data stream. So then when people see that, just that, then the value, they don't see the value in it. So
I guess.
Sadly, I wish that it doesn't have to be that way. And I think as an industry as a whole, we're trying to find ways to make this something more sustainable, something a little bit more healthy. As most of the stuff you do is mostly just been in music.
Mostly,
yeah. You mentioned some of the some VO work and also a little bit of corporate jingles.
We did a song for Kit Kat, like the most recent Raya Kit Kat song.
Right.
Yeah, I made that.
Yeah. I remember that.
Oh, nice.
That was probably the most commercial thing that you all did. Right?
I got to record MK, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. No, but that's important also. All these corporate jobs, because that's where the money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the money comes in, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I actually feel that, and back to the question of for younger people trying to get into this business, look, I think 90% of us, when we got into this, our dream, our ambition is like, I want to be in a band, I want to be the rock star, or I want to be in the studio recording and mixing and producing band and producing music, But the fact is that in audio and in this industry, there are actually way many other fields.
There's a lot more there.
So people shouldn't be discouraged if they can't meet this, because very often a lot of people they step into they start getting in this field because they want to be this. They want to be in the studio, want to be making music, but sometimes then they will find something else, like location sound, post-production, sound design, or other different fields, even music therapy, or different related live sound, artist management. There can be many other things which are many other fields which can be equally fulfilling, equally satisfactory in terms of your job satisfaction. And I would also argue sometimes maybe even better in terms of financial security.
Exactly,
So yeah, you know.
Yeah, I know a lot of studios that just like from time to time would do like government jobs and like corporate jobs. Just they call it job by a bill. Yeah,
pays the bills, keeps the lights on.
Yeah,
but it's actually actually quite a transition nowadays. I mean,
really?
even for me, for me,
wow.
you know. Especially between this past 2-3 years, you know, there's been a major shift and major transition in the type of work and the type of projects that come in. A lot more audio post, you know, so things like dubbing, voiceovers, right, mixing for visuals, for video stuff, because content is king nowadays. Right? Visual content is king. I would say it has always been the king lah.
But especially now with like all the platforms can.
Correct, yeah. So there's demand for original content, like original local content.
Yeah.
And not only that, there's also demand for like dubbing and overdubbing for foreign content as well. Although I don't get into that because dubbing is another whole rabbit hole that I want to get to. It's a big headache. You know?
Oh my god, man.
Yeah, so there's always interesting pathways, man.
Yeah.
All right. So again, upcoming singles again, new songs coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time this comes out, it will be out already.
Yeah.
I'll leave the description down, and then I'll leave a link down in the description.
Nice.
Yeah, and maybe come again and you can talk about your other projects that you've worked on.
Of course, man.
Shows coming up for third quarter of the year. Anything confirmed?
Yeah, we have this one show in Geospace, 21st of October.
All right.
Yeah, we're opening for like a few Indonesian artists.
Okay.
There's Geisha, and I can't remember the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Geospace.
All right. This who's the organizer? This event, the promoter?
It's like a collaboration between like Indonesian organizers and local organizers.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So that's coming up in October. I think this should come out by then. It should probably be either early October. So yeah. Check that out. Anything else you want to plug? Anything else you want to promote?
I think that's it.
That's it. How do people reach you? Social media, website?
Yeah, so my Instagram is ZacOnCrack, ZacOnCrack. And my Twitter is ZacNotOnCrack. That's
correct. Okay, right. And of course, the band, the band's handle as well.
Yeah, at MTPageX. MTPageX.
Yeah. Right. MTPage with the X at the back lah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, now it's not Twitter anymore. Now it's X. Yeah. Same on Instagram also.
Yeah,
MTPage
it is the same.
Okay. All right. Cool. So all this down in the description lah.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks again for doing this, Zach.
Yeah, of course,
It's
man.
been, it's very cool. It's very nice to catch up with you again and talk to you.
Man.
Yeah. So, till next time, all the best for you and all the best for MTPage.
Thank you, man.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye, folks.
Bang, bang, bang.